The Hyundai IONIQ 5N. If you like fake gear shifts, fake engine sound, this thing is for you. So today we're gonna take a look at it, talk about the interior space and see what it's like to drive it on our favorite back road. Yes, I'm a car enthusiast, and yes, I prefer cars with internal combustion engines, especially when it comes to performance vehicles. EVs are fine and there's nothing wrong with them, but they just feel soulless. See, a car that has an internal combustion engine under the hood has power characteristics, sound, and feels more mechanical, if you can say that about today's cars. So, what do manufacturers do to make their EVs fun and special? Well, Tesla wants to wow you with its acceleration. BMW hired Hans Zimmer to design the iconic sounds. And Hyundai? Well, Hyundai made a car that feels like it has an internal combustion engine under the hood. So let's talk about today's hero, the Hyundai IONIQ 5N. First of all, the performance variant is wider and lower. It received revised front end with larger air intakes and some minor aero changes. Also, the styling is more aggressive. We get some accents unique to the N model. Next up, the chassis. We have slightly redesigned and retuned suspension. It is still a strut front and a multi-link in the back, but something that regular model doesn't get are adaptive dampers. We also get bigger brakes with 4-piston front calipers and an enhanced cooling for the battery. As of powertrain, we get 2 electric motors, one on each axle, making the car all-wheel drive, which provide a total of 601 horsepower and 546 pound-feet of torque. In the overboost mode, or the N-Grin boost as Hyundai calls it, we get extra 40 horsepower and additional 22 pound-feet of torque for about 10 seconds. The system is obviously rear biased, meaning the rear gets more power by default. That varies depending on driving conditions or your preference, but the main goal here was to improve the driving dynamics and help with rotation. Now, this thing also gets an eLSD, and if you like shifting gears in your EV, the eShift function emulates the feel of an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission. There's no actual transmission here. What the car does is it controls the motor torque to give you that sensation of gear changes. Lastly, the battery. It's an 84 kilowatt-hour unit, which translates to around 220 miles of range. Thanks to an 800-volt architecture using DC fast charging, we can get this thing from 10 to 80% in about 18 minutes. Obviously, the most convenient and inexpensive way to charge an EV is at home, using an AC level to wall box. If you take that approach, getting from 0 to 100 should take you a little over 7 hours. When it comes to pricing, we're looking at $67,000 to $68,000, and the only option we can get is that matte blue paint that our tester has. Now, before we talk what it's like to drive the IONIQ 5N, let's take a look inside and talk about the interior space. Inside the IONIQ 5N. Now, the cabin features that 80s/retro design that the exterior has, and it works pretty well here. It's a nice place to be in overall. The material choice may not blow your mind, especially considering the N's price point, but everything is well put together. There are some accents unique to the N version, and all the touch points are soft where it matters. Now, despite the futuristic vibe, we still have a good amount of physical controls for things that we use pretty frequently, and from ergonomic standpoint, I cannot complain about this cabin. Same when it comes to technology. Typically for Hyundai, it's great. The infotainment display has a super friendly interface, and despite a lot of options and menus, everything is logically structured, and figuring things out should take you no time. Also, we get a dedicated N app, which allows you to customize the car's characteristics and includes things like a lap timer or basic telemetry. Oh, and finally, the system supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you don't have to plug in your phone if you want to use those features. The digital gauge cluster is customizable, allowing you to change its design, and provides all the information you need, such as the trip computer or the driving assist information, but it would be nice to have an option to project the map from the navigation or from Google Maps when you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. We do get turn-by-turn directions from the built-in Navi, but just some minor software tweak that would make the life better. The usability, as with most EVs built on a dedicated platform, is great. There is plenty of storage across the cabin, including center console and door pockets. The backseat offers a lot of room, and you can move the seats front and back or adjust the backrest. Also, the trunk, thanks to a more classic hatch design of the car, is pretty practical. Moving up front, the N model gets bolstered bucket-like seats. They hold you pretty well, but aren't the most comfortable. After about 2 hours of driving, I had some back pain no matter how I adjusted the seat. The good thing about them though is they are heated and cooled, which is not always so obvious, and the N variant has no sunroof, meaning you can easily fit with your helmet on. Now, we're not gonna take the N to the racetrack or to autocross, but let's go to our favorite back road and see how it drives. Okay, driving the IONIQ 5N. So EVs are in general fun to drive, right? They give you that instantaneous torque, but they don't give you as many emotions as cars with an internal combustion engine. So Hyundai has a response to that, and what they did is they gave us over 600 horsepower, an ELSD, or even fake gear shift. So since we are on our favorite back road, let's put it into one of the custom N modes that I had pre-programmed. So we have the powertrain, steering, suspension, and ELSD in Sport Plus, ESC in Sport. No fake engine noise for now. Let's put the N Grin Boost mode on, floor it, and wow! Oh, this thing's plenty fast. It's scary fast, wow. Loses traction. The pavement is a little wet this morning, and we have Pirelli P0s, which don't really perform well in lower temperatures. We have 41 degrees out, but wow, this thing, I'm not gonna lie, blows my mind how crazy fast it is. Let's take some of those corners a little bit more aggressively. Nice rotation, which I really like. I always like when the rear end nicely rotates. The brakes, I wish they had better initial bite for a performance vehicle that gives you that sensation of confidence that you can slow the car down. The handling is pretty nice. There's some body roll, but wow, this is just pure insanity. This thing would probably smoke some of the cars with internal combustion engines. All right, I can enable gear shifting, downshift. There's some jerkiness that's associated with performance transmissions. Boom. And that fake engine noise, those burbles. This is ridiculous, but hey, as a car enthusiast, I'll take it. I love anything that has 4 wheels and a steering wheel. There's some safe understeer. It basically disappears at liftoff. So it's really interesting how Hyundai programmed the powertrain in this thing. Downshift. Let's just enjoy some of those corners here. Wow, I would love to see what it's like to drive this thing on a racetrack. I don't have high expectations because you still can feel the weight, those 4,600 pounds, but it would be just an interesting experience. Downshift here, some engine braking. Alrighty, some fake burbles, enough of that. Let's go into comfort mode and talk about what it's like to drive the IONIQ 5 on a daily basis. Well, the N model feels basically like an IONIQ 5 with a stiffer suspension. It's super easy to drive, it's very smooth. We have different modes for region braking. I'm at level 1 right now, so when I lift off the accelerator, the car is gonna slightly slow down. Level 2 is like a nice in-between. Then level 3 is more aggressive, and we can do I-pedal, which is 1-pedal drive. As I lift off, the car noticeably slows down, so that allows you to take the full advantage of that region braking and optimize your range, which isn't all that great, to be honest, in the N model. When I unplugged this car this morning, I hit it at 100% and it was telling me that I had only 220 miles of range. So that's the only downside of the most performance variant of the IONIQ 5. Everything else about this car is fantastic. When you drive it on a daily basis in the softest suspension setting, it's pretty compliant of in-road imperfections. There isn't much vibration coming inside. It doesn't feel as stiff as a Hyundai Elantra N, for example. It doesn't feel overdamped whatsoever. It's pretty comfortable. We also have a good set of driver assist features. That's what Hyundai is known for. We have highway driving assist, which means we have adaptive cruise control, lane centering. The car is even going to automatically change lanes for you. So as an overall package, this is pretty nice. Does it replace a car with an internal combustion engine? Absolutely not, but if you want to lease this thing just to see what it's like to live with it, I would highly encourage you to do so. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about the IONIQ 5N, so let's head into the final thoughts and summarize it. Summing up the IONIQ 5N. Well, it's an interesting vehicle, to say the least. Hyundai put a lot of effort and pushed a lot of boundaries when developing this thing, and I'm pretty impressed. They have courage to do something that others didn't, or maybe that just had more money than others. Now, while this doesn't replace something like an Elantra N or a Civic Type R, as a performance EV, it's very impressive. It has great powertrain tuning, great suspension tuning, and it's super cool and fun to drive. It has all those gimmicks, but this is what this car is all about. I'm really interested to see what else they will bring in their future EVs. Anyways, if you guys have any questions about the IONIQ 5, drop a comment and I'll answer them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.